know when you have to describe a graph and data, which includes numbers, statistics, it can be difficult in English to make sure your subject and your verb agree. Let's have a look at some common expressions. The first one is using the word number. The number of requires a singular verb. A number of requires a plural verb. Have a look at these sentences. The number of frogs in the pond is twice the number of fish. A number of protesters are gathering outside the Capitol building today. So that's an easy rule to remember. Why? The number of refers to a specific but unspecified number. That means you don't know the number. Because you don't know, it's like an uncountable noun and takes a singular verb. A number of just means several, which is plural, so it takes a plural verb. And by the way, try to train your brain to ignore the next noun, because that noun will usually be plural, so you don't want it to affect your verb when sometimes the number of needs a singular verb. Let's practice. The number of kangaroos in Brisbane is less than the number in Canberra. The number of students at Tasmania University grows every year. A number of students at UQ complain about their results every semester. Unfortunately, now let's find the verb. The verb is over here, is. So what's the rule? With is singular, the number. The last one, are being adopted, so this must be plural. A number of measures are being adopted to combat cyberbullying. So that's using the word number. What about fractions like 1/2, percentages, 50%, and other indefinite quantifiers like some and all and much and many? In these sentences, the verb agrees with the noun just before the verb. The verb here is taken, and look at the noun before. It's singular, this article. In the second sentence, much of this book. So ignore much, it doesn't matter. Look at this one, singular. Much of this book is relevant to the assignment topic. Half of what he wrote is singular, remains singular. 50% of the job is mundane, the job singular, the rest is quite interesting. And all the information, uncountable and singular, is correct. And the same applies to plural. Look at these ones. The students, researchers, articles, computers, teachers. So if the noun just before the verb is plural, make the verb plural. Have, depend on, are. All the teachers have a master's degree. I hope that's easy to understand. The problem or the confusion for you might be when we use collective nouns, group nouns like family, police, which can be both singular and plural. Half of my family lives, or half of my family live in Canada. Don't worry, both of these are correct. All of her class is from Vietnam, all of her class are from Vietnam. It just depends on which idea you want to focus on. If you want to focus on my one family, you can use lives. If you want to focus on a lot of people that represent half, you will use live. But both are correct according to English grammar. So we've done number, and we've done fractions, percentages, and other quantifiers. Let's move on to these words, majority and minority. I'm sorry, now it gets a little bit tricky. If you don't know the number, use a singular verb. The majority holds no strong views. A small minority is voting against the new law. But if you give the percentage, you can use a plural verb as well. Again, it depends on your focus. A 75% majority have or has voted against the new law. A 10% minority is or are opposed to the Prime Minister's plan. And which one can you focus on? It depends. You may have more information in the sentence before or the sentence after that show which one you want to focus on. Whether you want to focus on majority as one group, or whether you want to focus on many, many people in the 75%. But just don't worry about it because both are correct. Here is where you have to be careful. If you know the group of people, I'll say that again. If you know which group of people, you need a plural verb. The majority of Australians have voted for same-sex marriage. A minority of students, now maybe you know which students, the ones in my class, the students in my biology department. If you know the group of students, you need to use plural. A minority of students are willing to pay more. Let's practice. Now we're going to use present simple here, but in a presentation you might have to use past simple to refer to research that you have already completed. But let's practice with present simple here. The majority of Lasmania students are or come from China. A 90% majority hold or holds. You can use either depending on your focus. A small minority of participants has indicated. This one is singular because you probably are reading some research, but you don't know which participants. So a small minority, it's unspecified. But in the last one, a huge majority of our class, the speaker or the writer knows which group of students. So a huge majority of our class have stated that they never date online. Okay, this one's a little bit tricky, but so easy to learn. If you're referring to time, money, or distance, I'm sorry, but it uses singular. $10 is not a lot of money. 10 kilometers is too far to walk. And 10 weeks in this course is not long enough. This is because in my English brain I'm thinking the amount of $10 is. The distance of 10 kilometers is. So that's why we use a singular verb. This one is also strange but easy. We can use an adjective as a plural noun. the rich, the poor, the rich and famous, plural verb get, don't always have. And here is the last slide, because why do I teach you this? To help you pass an IELTS exam or to help you describe data in academic English. So let's have a look at this graph and make it real. Just over 10% of people believe. People is plural, so use believe. 1/5 of the public disagree. With a fraction, the public is many, many people, you can use a plural verb. The majority of respondents in this research is worried. This is if you don't know the group of people. You didn't do the research yourself. You don't know them, so you need singular. Around half of the participants are. This is a fraction. Use plural because this word is plural. And now we've got a specific percentage. A roughly 30% minority either has or have no opinion or disagree or disagrees with the statement. Remember, if you give the percentage, it doesn't matter. It depends which one you focus on. Now you might have to go back and look at that again. So thank you for watching. I really hope it's helped you. Just search for My English Future on Facebook or Pinterest or LinkedIn or YouTube, and there is my website. All the best with your English language learning.